It is Wednesday, my dudes, and tonight our guest continues to push the limits of 3D printing and give Tony Stark a run for his money. So grab your filament, pour your resin, and put on your safety goggles as we welcome cosplayer, maker, teacher, and YouTuber Frankly Built. Matchu, roll that intro. Oh, hey, Matchu.
Oh, hey.
How are you?
I'm all right. It's recovering from what seems like another Toymageddon.
Oh, that's right. You went to the what you call it?
Yeah.
Tamashi Station.
Mm-hmm. And
That's
then
right.
a bunch of Mafex dropped. So that was
that.
fun. Yeah.
So the wallet's hurting. The wallet's hurting.
Wallet is hurting. And then like Hasbro decided to reveal a bunch of Star Wars toys. So yeah.
And they were actually Star Wars toys that I feel like we actually care about this time.
Yeah, I really want that Ahsoka
repaints. Yeah, the Ahsoka looks really good.
Yeah. So, what about you?
I've literally got a stack of boxes that I haven't had a chance to open yet. So, look forward to that. But yeah, outside of that, just excited to be here. Episode 23 or 22, 23, I think.
23.
Between two Sentinels. Of course, I am Jshot, and the man with the plan here is Matchu Toy. So.
Not really a plan. I don't know. I just go by whatever I feel like doing, I guess, right?
What is that? Make the plan, know the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, forget the plan.
Throw out the plan, all that stuff.
Throw out the plan. So.
But yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Ignore the Star Wars figures because I was working on a Star Wars shot for tomorrow.
I was gonna say you wouldn't be working on a May the 4th shot, would you?
Maybe. Did you work on yours?
Not yet. That's what tomorrow's for. I got all day tomorrow. I've got 24 useful hours tomorrow.
I guess, yeah. But just don't post. You got to post at like 11:59.
Yeah, 11:59. Or maybe I'll say Strew May the 4th, and I'll just do a Revenge of the 6th there. Post.
I guess that works.
Yeah.
You want to check in with the chat, or you want to bring in the guest?
I mean, from what I'm seeing here, everyone's just saying, "Where is Frank?" So I mean, let's just bring in.
Let's bring him in.
Yes, Frankly Built. I love that it's sitting on top of your head. It's not even on.
Hi guys.
How's it going, man?
Good. Thank you for having me on the. This is really cool.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, dude. This is really awesome.
No problem. Yeah, no problem.
I mean, obviously, we're like, we pretty much sit in the toy photography realm, but we like to talk to people who are what we call toy adjacent, because clearly 3D printing is something a lot of people are into. A lot of people make weapons, backgrounds, things like that to go into toy photography. You, man, you are raising the bar with this stuff. I mean, the Iron Man suits that you've made, and even just the short amount of time that you've been doing this, which is crazy.
I think I'm louder than most people with it. I'd say that.
All right.
Because the whole hobby's been booming. Like, I didn't invent this by any means. I didn't, pioneer this. I think I got out in front of it at a good time. But everything's driving itself forward, which is great. Like, people in the community are so open to communication and learning now. And you see one person doing one thing, and then more people start to do it. So 99% of the community is very open to sharing, and that just drives people to do better. Like, find those tricks, find those little things, and I think I'm louder about it than some people with like social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that. But it is definitely a collective effort.
I mean, community is a big thing, especially with us. But I mean, it's clear, like you're talking about it, and even past guests have talked about, the cosplay community too. And sharing is actually something I'm really surprised by. I mean, even on your site, right? Like, You have a ton of tutorials. You even talk about, how to monetize stuff. I think that's awesome. And if you look, Steve Morrow here comments, can someone 3D print me some confidence to be able to 3D print?
Steve, you are. What's the rating of this podcast? Is it GPG?
You can do whatever you want. We got no sponsors.
Yeah, we don't.
Cool.
Have
you're gonna dick some stuff up. You're going to. If the fear of failure is what's stopping you from 3D printing, then I don't know. That's the one thing you have to get past, because you're going to mess it up. You are going to have failures. You are going to break something, drop something. You're going to make your first helmet or prop, and then you're going to make your second one because your first one sucked. And then you're going to look back at your 10th one and on your 100th and be like, wow, I used to be really bad at this. But you can't get better unless you start. So that's one thing I've always tried to do on my channel, my Instagram. Like, I could very well have a social media where it's just like, hey guys, look at this cool shiny thing. Like and subscribe. How many channels are like that? Dozens, right? But oh, hey, I was making this and I messed it up, and I messed up the paint, and I broke this, and keeping that transparency of I'm a person too, it seems to have resonated very well with people on, oh, wow, he messes all this stuff up. He screws this stuff up. He openly admitted he did that wrong or it didn't come out good. So it, I think, helps ground people back in that reality of like, oh, even the guy on YouTube telling me how to do it messed it up a few times. That makes me feel better.
Yeah. And I mean, this is just, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, you once you get your printer, it's not like, oh, you could immediately print something right out of the box. You got to dial in your settings, and that's how I found your channel and your presence was because I was watching tutorials on 3D printing.
Yes, they're working.
Yes, they definitely work. I don't print out helmets, but like the first printer I got was an Ender 3, and like I just printed out. It was just the background, the Star Wars walls for my toy photography.
That's cool. That's awesome. Okay.
So like the first few times I failed, you're going to fail. And
it is not an appliance. It is not a grab it, buy it, plug it in. You now have a microwave that works for 5 years with no issues. It's a tool. You're going to need to learn how to use it. There's going to be now printers are much better than they were even the 4 years ago. My first printer is sitting right there, actually, from 4 years ago. I'm working on rebuilding it. It's broke. Yeah, right there. That's my first Creality CR10S. That is what started all of this. And they're getting better, but there is still room where you need to experiment. There is trial and error. It isn't. I mean, yeah, you could blow 20 grand on an Ultimaker or something, and yeah, it's going to work pretty well out of box, but that's not the hobby. That's not a hobby level printer. This is
right.
And so if I did my research correctly, you got your first printer in June of 2019. Give or take. Yeah. I try to do what I can.
Yep.
And when you first got it, what was your plan? Like, did you have a plan, or you were just like, or even go further back? What made you get that printer or start this?
I wanted 10 million subscribers on YouTube. I wanted to take down Mr. Beast. I wanted to be famous, and no, God no.
So all the reasons we started this show, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. If you get into YouTube hoping to be successful on YouTube, you're not going to be successful on YouTube. No, get onto YouTube because you enjoy the thing you do. I wanted to make an Iron Man suit. A lot of my audience knows that I literally got this printer to make this suit. That was it. That was the plan. Oh, I want to make an Iron Man suit. I tried Pepakura Papercraft.
I tried that.
Oh my God. I was so bad at it. Could not even Godspeed to anybody who's made anything out of papercraft that was viable. You have my utmost respect, and you're also a little bit of a psychopath. So, wow.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I got halfway done with a helmet, about here down, and I literally was sitting in front of my TV in my living room, like kind of working on it. My wife was there too. Just we were hanging out, and I just sat there, got frustrated, and then I just crushed it. And I'm like, nope, this isn't it. Like, no, nope. And then I went back to the drawing board. I think on one of my hard drives, I might even still have those original Mark 85 Pepicura files. I think I still have them somewhere. That'd be cool to pull out, actually. And I did more research, and this printer had just dropped. This printer had recently come out, and it was about $500, and it was a really good size. It could do full-size helmets in one shot, which meant it could do armor pieces fairly simply, and pulled the trigger on it. I'll never forget asking my wife, because $500, that's a game console. It's a big investment. I can't just go and spend that. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to hurt our financials like that. And I was like, hey, like, how would you feel about me getting a 3D printer? And she got so mad. And I'm like, oh God, like what? She's like, she kind of stopped, and she's like, this was like July. She's like, I spent months talking to my dad, who heard my father-in-law. He's a tech savvy kind of guy too. We were trying to get you a printer for your birthday, but there were so many damn models, we couldn't figure out which one to get. And I'm like, I know which model I want. She's like, fine, buy it. So she wasn't mad that I was getting one. She was mad that she couldn't get it for me. So I was just like, oh God, I had no idea. I'm sorry. So yeah, got the printer, and now we're here.
And I mean, it's in terms of, like you said, you may be the loudest, but I mean, it's only been 5 years, right? Like, that seems like really quick growth, which is just incredible to you and just how you've been doing stuff. Looking at what do you got? 150,000 followers on Instagram, over 880,000 YouTube subscribers, and 2 million
coming up on that 900,000.
It's really impressive, man. It's really impressive.
I'm excited. A lot of it's timing and luck. I'll never discount that. No, there's obviously hard work that goes into it. You can't just throw everything at the wall and hope it sticks. You need to figure out why certain things are sticking. Being able to reflect and look back and think like, okay, this worked, this didn't, this was stupid, this bombed. That helps. Well-timed Reddit posts catching on certain days help. So there absolutely is a right place, right time. I've gotten flack from some people before who were in the community longer than me. Why is this guy getting recognized on Reddit, or why did this guy get an article on comicbook.com or whatever, when he's not the only one doing this. And I've always acknowledged that. I've never ever acted like I was the only one doing this, despite misquotes. I'm not. I try to get all the information out because I enjoy this. And I had another YouTuber a long time ago kind of come after me because I had copied one of his techniques it was when I was resin casting the Infinity Stones for my gauntlet. I had ended up using like the exact same products as him and did the same method. I had never seen this dude before in my life. Like, I had never seen his channel, his tutorial. I just hopped on Amazon and was like, resin casting putty, okay, that stuff. Oh, resin clear, okay, powder pig. Like, I had just gotten the same stuff. And when I went and finally watched his video, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is the exact same thing. And his video was out like 2 years before mine. But like, we just ended up in the same place. And so it's been odd. It's so many weird things have happened. That's just one of them. Right now, I'm watching.
Steve's watching and making banana bread. Oh, I think that's a great question.
What do you do with imperfect
prints?
Yeah. I either try to fix them. Very few prints come out perfect. Like the back of this Blue Beetle helmet had a lot of little errors on it. I had to fix and sand out. Straight up failed prints. I sometimes I'll sell them to people. I got this girl in Florida. Her name is Abby. Just met on Instagram, and she likes testing paints and practicing her painting and sanding. So she'll buy raw prints, and I just charge her like material, like just however much this weighs. Give me that back in money for filament. Like, just it's a recycling program. Yeah. So like, I'll send prints out to people, or if it's utterly trashed, unusable, it goes into a box for storage. I am waiting for some company to come out with a viable filament recycling system. However, that is not anything any filament company is ever going to do, because then that means they can't sell as much filament.
Right.
So that is a huge, if there are anybody listening who wants to, break into the 3D printing hobby, find a sub-$1,000 way to not only recycle and melt down filament. That's not really the problem. It's chopping it up. If I have a helmet that fails and I want to chop it up, I can't get this into a filament recycler. Filament recyclers right now need pellets, like small plastic. How am I going to chop this helmet up without sitting there with nippers and cutters? And that sucks. I'd rather get a new roll of filament at that point. But if somebody can figure out like a blender shredder, you guys know the channel Blend Tech? Will it blend? You ever seen that guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Rob Dickinson, I think, or something like that. I sent an email to Blend Tech and I pitched, hey, there might be a market here for you guys. Would you guys be willing to do like a video collaboration? Can your blenders blend up 3D printed plastic? Like, because those blenders are like a couple grand. That wasn't something I could invest into a video at the time. But why not? Like I could find a good blender to just chop up the parts in the pellets, that might be onto something. But yeah, I have 5 or 6 boxes. 24, or they're 30 inch by 30 inch by 30 inch. They're giant moving boxes. I have 5 of them full of all of my failed prints, all of my supports, all of the supports from this suit, all of my projects. I have never thrown away filament because I'm waiting for that recycler. Like, I will have about 50 rolls of filament just come back to me if I can get a recycler that works. And
just from the supports too, because it's so much filament being used on supports.
Yep, and you have to use it. I think I used about 2 rolls worth of support on Star Boost right here, the white suit. Because I saved it all through the project. I saved all of the supports, and then I weighed everything at the end. I'm like, okay, I used 14 rolls. How much of that went into the suit? And I actually got that. I ended up getting that number.
What's the number? What's the ratio?
Star Boost ended up at 12.5 rolls standing there, and I used it was less than 2 rolls in supports, and I only had one print failure. One print failure that was 110 grams on that whole suit. So that dialed in very nicely.
I love that we're talking about like failed prints and stuff, and it's kind of incredible to me that you saved all those pieces. Even more when you're like, you could take nippers. I was like, why not just take a hammer and break it up? But I guess nippers makes more sense.
No, break it up too. Absolutely. I have smashed helmets. I've had failed prints where I have just ripped them apart. It's therapeutic sometimes. It is very therapeutic to take, a failed helmet, put it on the concrete floor and just step on it. And
it's gotta feel good. What would you say is your ratio of, in ballpark, of successful prints to failed prints?
1 out of 100, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I don't have many failed prints. When you've printed enough of a variety of helmets, especially, it doesn't matter that I got this Blue Beetle helmet, right? I had never printed this helmet, but I've printed stuff like it. I've printed jaws like this for Iron Man helmets. So I knew how to stand this up, and I knew what to look for to get the tabs for the magnets to survive. I've printed, this is like a dome on an Iron Man helmet. There's only so many different shapes in the world. So being able to evaluate and look at, okay, I need these tabs to survive for strength. Oh, it's resin printing, so I got to think about it in different ways. So it's experience. It's experience of being able to look at different projects and know, even though you haven't printed that thing, know what to look out for and know, all right, I need to print this in a way that this prints like that. And that's why when I was talking earlier, like, you're going to have failures because you don't know yet. You can't possibly know because you haven't done it yet. So embracing those failures teaches you, The amount of people who will print Mandalorian helmets and put the supports in the middle and do it. Good. Use supports, use more filament than you need to, and then start to cut back, because you'll get people who go down that rabbit hole too quickly of trying to save as much material as possible. Oh, I saw somebody print a Mandalorian helmet in 500 grams. Why is mine 700 grams? Print it at 700 grams and get the damn helmet done. Then work your way back. Then start learning, okay, cut some corners here, because you'd rather have a helmet that took a little more filament than risk messing up a print and then you have a failed helmet. So why not just print the thing? And a lot of people are too quick to look at everybody else's projects and be like, well, he did it in this, so I can do it in this. Just print the thing, just move forward, print it, and you'll learn,
That's great. I mean, we certainly push that kind of mentality too, right? Even with not just, toy photography, but really everything we do, right? Just put it out there, attempt, try, go, right? And then learn. And then make it better the next time.
Exactly.
Matchu, this has got to be a question you handle. I don't 3D print. So
where do you find your Alicia boards?
I'm not sure what an Alicia board is.
It's the Alicia boards for the Iron Man helmets and suits. To motorize them, the electronics are going into them. They're made by Crashworks 3D. They sell them on eBay, but you can go to their Instagram, Crashworks 3D, and I think they have links to the stores and stuff there. And yeah, I got to update that link actually, because I think the link in my videos for that, I think it's dead or old, and I got to update that store. So yes, good question.
Actually, I kind of wanted to talk about that too, because you do more than just the 3D printing, right? I mean, it's painting, it's sanding, it's the electronics that you're putting inside of the helmets and the
no. Well, you hit print and it comes out like this.
Oh, okay.
You didn't, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
what
run
out right now then and go get it.
Yeah, that's what people on TikTok tell me at least. So yeah, hit print. You're not doing any work. You hit print and the friggin' thing comes out. I'm working on a very funny video about that, but that's for another time.
The camera takes great pictures, not you.
Yeah, the 5-foot rule in cosplay is a real thing, and the amount of people who chase perfection and they spend so much time trying to make their suit or their helmet perfect, they miss out on being able to enjoy the reason they even made it, realizing that nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares that your Mandalorian helmet might not be as mirror shiny as it is in the movie, or that your Iron Man suit has a little bit of a bigger waist than the normal Iron Man suit, or nobody cares. At cons, nobody cares. They're not looking at that. They see, oh, Iron Man, they take a picture of you. That's it. So I always encourage people, get over the little imperfections. And how many times have you heard people say, well, I'm a perfectionist? Everybody's a perfectionist. Nobody makes something to look bad. I think that's like when you see those psychics and mediums read people, you're always concerned about money and your family had problems growing up. It's like, yeah, you mean every American? What? Everybody cares about money, right. Those vague. That's what I equate. I'm a perfectionist. So is everybody, but where you cut it off is the difference, So especially in the cosplay world, oh, I want to make this suit to wear to this con. Oh, it's not perfect. Cool, wear it to that con, and it's not perfect. Fix it later. Who cares?
One of my coaches always told me, done is better than perfect. And I still live by that motto a lot.
If I could tattoo that on my fist and punch people with it. Just finish it. Just finish the damn thing. And if somebody is giving you shit about it, and they are in the community, let people know. Send them my way. I love outing people like that. I will burn if somebody's being a shithead in the community, I will burn them to the ground. I don't care. I have a platform now. I have reach, and if you are a turd in the punch bowl, we'll get you out of there. It's not a place for it. It's not. I hate it. Embrace the failures.
Yep, embrace the failures. That's how you learn everything.
It's not failure if you learn from it, right?
Yeah. You can't learn from it if you don't have the failure to begin with. You can't.
Right. That's true.
Start. Do it.
The first time I got the resin printer, Jshot, you knew that, that whole.
Oh yeah, I was over there.
I was freaking out. I'm like, did I make a mistake buying this thing? I keep failing my prints. After about a week, I got good prints. You just have to learn and change settings.
It still gives me anxiety and makes me very upset. I've gotten, I get printers for reviews. Some would say free, depends how you look at it. That's a debate for another time. But having the resin printers, I still need to buy my own resin, and resin can get expensive really quickly. And my first resin printer was the Epax X156, a giant printer that can do full size helmets. I have bought, until recently, I'd say upwards of 30 bottles of resin over time. And it was last summer. It was the end of last summer, and I was kind of sitting there in my garage, moving things around, cleaning, throwing out some failed prints, and I'm thinking, I'm like, I have one finished resin helmet. It was my Mark 41 Bones helmet. I had gone through bottles. I mean, probably 10 to 15 bottles of resin with one helmet to show for it. That hurt. That hurt my pockets and it hurt everything. That sucked. I was like, oh my God, I have one helmet. I have all these failed prints. I tried to print some Mark 85 helmets. None of them fit, or they warped, and it was bad. I was like, oh my God, I need to stop buying resin and really learn and buckle down and learn how to resin print, because I am burning through so much money and I have nothing to show for it right now. This isn't, oh my, yeah, that was bad. Now I'm getting better at it.
Well, I guess that answers my question. I was going to ask if you like resin or filament better, but there you go. So.
You're going to like Saturday's video then, because it's a video about both of them. Yep.
So you mentioned that you have a platform now, type of thing, right? And I kind of wanted to just ask, like, what are some of the surprising opportunities that have come from that?
Wow. How much time we got?
We got as much time as you got, my friend. So we're on your dime.
I mean, I got to go to red carpet Marvel premieres. That's weird. That's still weird. Yeah. I was never starstruck. Even at the red carpet, you'd see these people, but they're people. I never shipped or really got with that emotion or idea of where people fangirl and oh my God, it's Steve Evans or Chris Evans, or it's yeah, he's a person, he's an actor,
he's a dude.
He just makes a lot more money than you. They're just people. So I like going to those events to hang out with my friends and see the movie early. I mean, I didn't really go there to meet the cast and do all this stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was cool. That's Kevin Feige. Oh, that's pretty sick. And he actually signed that helmet. I do have that signed.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But they're just people. It's a cool thing to be at because everybody's there for the same reason and happy and celebrating things, and just I was photobombing everybody. It was great. And I don't know. So going to those events, what was it like meeting this person? It's it was cool. They're a person, they got a picture with them. It was cool to meet them. They were nice. They're human. I think the only weird person people consistently talk about is Nicolas Cage. And because he's a different person, probably Tom Cruise. I imagine he's kind of
he's short. I've actually met him in person. He's really, really short.
He's my height. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm the same height as Tom Cruise forever. Yeah, the Marvel premieres are really awesome. Getting invited to cons, that's a side effect I never. There's the outcomes that I knew about, oh, maybe one day if my YouTube was popular enough, or if things go good enough, maybe going to cons, that was, oh, I see bigger YouTuber cosplayers and makers, they go to these things. That could be me one day. That'd be really cool. So getting invited to cons, that happens now. So I'm thankful for it, and I can't believe it is happening, but that was something that was predictable. It's okay, this makes sense. But getting to go to Marvel premieres, that was never even on the radar of oh, if I make my Iron Man suit, maybe one day Marvel will invite me to that. What? That didn't make any. That wasn't something I could have ever predicted.
And you didn't even have to wear your suit in that premiere. It looked like.
we've tried. We're trying for Armor Wars. We want a bunch of us to we want a bunch of Iron Man cosplayers to go to the premiere of Armor Wars in our suits. The only problem with that is when it's time to go watch the movie, we need to take our suits off.
Yeah.
That it requires a space to de-suit and store them, and everything there is paid for by the minute at the El Capitan and the places they have the premieres. So every extra square foot they need to reserve, it's actually a pretty big ask for like, hey, is there a space the 10 of us can take our suits off and keep them for 2 hours? It's kind of a big ask, but we're trying to get a good game plan pitch, because that'd be amazing. It'd be amazing to be on the red carpet there in our suits. I would very much love to wear one of them there. Not meeting the celebrities, not meeting like I didn't really care much to meet the celebrities in the movie. Yeah, I'd love to meet Robert Downey Jr. one day. Cool. But I've got the chance to meet Adam Savage and Kyle Hill and like the YouTubers, like the people I grew up watching who were real people, not pretending to be other people, you know. Getting to meet those people like that, that's been, Odin from Odin Makes. He's a big ball of joy. I love that man. And then getting to meet like the people behind the scenes of everything, the legends in the industry, people like Ben Eady and Evil Ted and Odin, and you start to get to meet these people who are the ones pulling the strings and who are behind the scenes of the things and making the props and have been there on movie sets. Like those are the cool people to me. An actor's an actor who can act. Tell them to do the thing, they will do the thing. Cool. That's impressive. That's a skill, a talent, not discrediting that. I find it cooler. Who are the people pulling the strings and making the things happen? Who made that Mandalorian helmet? Who made Stormbreaker? Who made that stuff? ILM, that's the cool stuff to me.
It's actually what I was going to ask about too, was just like meeting, prop makers and just other makers in general, swapping stories and things like that. But yeah,
I will go to bed and wake up every day with imposter syndrome. But then going to cons and meeting these people, these legends in the industry, and these people who are making stuff and were there for the invention of CGI and have 3D printing didn't even exist, and the things have evolved. They all feel the exact same way. Every single one of them is waiting for somebody to just call them and be like, yeah, actually, we found out you've been lying to us for 50 years. You're fired. And they're like, okay, cool. Like everybody just feels the exact same way. Yeah. So it's like, oh, all right. And somebody, I think it was Ted Smith. I think it was him, or it might have been Mike from Props to History. But he was just like, yeah, and if you ever meet somebody who doesn't have imposter syndrome, they're an asshole. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
It's funny. I was talking about imposter syndrome at work today. We were just talking about how we basically faked it till we made it, and now we don't know what else to do. So yeah, it's interesting to hear other people talk about it.
I always talk to you about that.
Oh yeah, no, I know, for sure. But I mean,
then you step me out of it and you say, "Do your job," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Every once in a while, I need somebody to do that to me. What is that? What is the average amount of time you spend sanding and painting a helmet?
A couple hours.
Yeah.
It depends on the helmet. It depends on this Blue Beetle helmet. I spent about 2 hours total cleaning it, sanding it, priming it, and it's a lot of letting paint dry. The longest part of this helmet was testing out the paints for the color shift and figuring out how to get the speckles and stuff, which was that time spent on the helmet because I wasn't spraying I was spraying a blank piece of metal, testing it. So like, other things take longer. The Mandalorian helmet I spent more time sanding that because it was a FDM plastic print. But I made time back up in that because while I was sanding this, I actually didn't paint the chrome on it. It's graphite rub. So that went on in a few minutes. There was no dry time. Once the black was dry, it was cool. Graphite done. So
I watched that video when you were talking about graphite rub. I actually used that for one of my Mandalorian figures to make it shiny.
It's such cool stuff. Oh my God. Oh, my bone phones fit in here? No, they don't. Okay. We'll get them to fit one day. Yeah, some projects take longer than the others. my 2 longest helmet projects, 3, was my Samus helmet, my Power Ranger helmet, and my Green Goblin helmet. Those absolutely took the longest to sand and clean up and get to look pretty and nice. Couple hours, because a lot of it's waiting. A lot of it's waiting for paint to dry. So, yeah, it might take me a week to make a helmet, but I didn't spend a week working on it. You know,
you let the printer work on it, and then you have to work on it once it's done.
There's the trade-off right there, because people will be like, "Oh, I can print that helmet in 20 hours." Yeah, but it's gonna kind of look like crap because you used a higher layer height, a bigger layer height. So I used to kind of be like that, print very quick and use power tools to sand everything down quick. Now I've actually shifted more to the other way. I'm actually letting my printers do the work. Let your printer, set your printer to a higher quality. Let it take more time. Who cares? Especially if you have extra printers. Not everybody has that luxury. Totally understand. But I'm letting the printer do as much work as it can to save me from having to sit there and post-process it as long. Right. And then resin printing is a whole other beast of like, sand it real quick and it's ready to paint. You still need to sand your resin prints, folks. Big resin prints, you still need to sand them. Don't get a resin printer thinking, I'll never have to sand again. You're lying to yourself or somebody lied to you. So, yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find that Goblin helmet because I really like that.
I can just grab it. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, that's probably easier. We should just do that. So instead of me searching through all the photos on Instagram.
A big thing when I first started printing was if a print was really long and it failed. Yeah, give him a big screen.
Look at that. It's so cool.
Just a nice amount of purple color shift around the edges.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I cheated on the eyes, but they worked. So
how'd you cheat? How'd you cheat on the eyes? Like what does that mean?
I vacuum formed the eyes so they're bulbs, but when I was trying to tint the plastic, that yellow tint, I couldn't get it to adhere properly. And just because how fragile the plastic was, it's vacuum formed plastic. So when I was trying to heat the vinyl, it was warping the plastic. So I tinted the plastic before I vacuum formed it, and that messed it all up. And so I was just trying. And then I tried plastic dyes. You can boil plastic and get these dye packets. I tried that. Nothing was working for me. And there is a way to do it. I just couldn't figure it out. So instead what I did is it's the plastic bulbs. And you can kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. It's the plastic bulb that has the shape, but then behind it is a flat piece of chrome window tint with the yellow vinyl in front of it. So it's like I took a bowl and then I put a flat sheet on top of it. And that's what's actually giving that chrome effect is the fact that the yellow window tint vinyl is sitting a couple centimeters behind the actual lens. So it reflects kind of neat, actually. It ended up turning into a really cool effect. But there's a space. There's a space between the vinyl. Yeah. You can kind of see it in there. I just kind of taped them in there, and they're not. Oh, actually, right here. Hold on. Right. See that plastic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of curved behind it, and there's a gap there. But it gave me the effect I wanted.
That color.
Why would that be
really nice?
Why would that be cheating? If that you still got what you needed out of it.
Yeah, right. I cut a corner. I can't. Maybe not cheating, but yeah.
Cut a corner.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And what's great is since this is mesh, I think my voice hasn't changed at all. Like I think you guys can still hear me.
Yeah.
This will be the rest of the interview. We'll just keep
that's fine. That's all it's fine. Perfect. Somebody tunes in. Like, what?
That's par for the course for us. But you were asking something before he grabbed.
What was I saying? Failed prints that take hours and hours and hours. I was getting frustrated with it at first. Then I'm like, why am I getting so angry about it? Because it's like I'm not doing the work, the printer's doing the work. I just let it do its job, and I do whatever I have to. After, during it, I mean.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just time. It's the time that was wasted, but I'm not wasting time. It's the printer that's wasted.
Just running in the background,
just doing the work. Yeah, you just have to set it over again. You're just starting over.
Yeah. Yep. You were right.
Let's see. We got Kyle Jobs here asks, What is your future dream project?
I can show you.
Okay.
There's some other questions up there too.
And it's funny because before we started casting, you actually inadvertently mentioned it.
Oh, that feels like forever ago.
Yeah, right. We were different people then.
Different people an hour ago.
Now we haven't seen what he actually looks like yet, but all we have is this, and I wouldn't even know where to start. But hey, and some of you might recognize him. Let's see if that picture focuses in. Nope, of course it doesn't, because the internet is stupid and full of stupid things. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that.
Oh yeah, we do.
It's a Gundam.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's called his name is it's Wing Gundam Snow White. So if you guys ever saw Gundam Wing growing up on Tsunami, and then or saw Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, love that movie. There was actually a lot of people don't know there was a continuation book. It wasn't a manga. It was an actual novel called Frozen Teardrop, and it was what happens after Endless Waltz. I think it's like 50 years in the future. They're on Mars. It's really cool. But that suit is from that book, and it's Wing Zero, but even more futuristic and awesome. And I would love to do a Gundam cosplay of either Wing Zero custom with the angel wings or this higher evolved version of it. But if I'm going to do a Wing Zero cosplay, I am doing those wings justice. They're going to be big and obnoxious, and I don't know how to do that yet.
I was going to ask, but if you take a project like that, what is your process at the beginning, right? Like, how do you kind of like your pre-production, right? Like, are you figuring out how much you need? Do you just break it down as to what you should start with? Like, how do you? That feels like a huge project, right? That's not a.
Yeah,
okay, I know exactly what I need to do here.
Because I can't do that one yet. Skills and finances and even technology limiting, depending on how crazy it gets. I'm doing a different Gundam cosplay. I'm going to be doing Gundam Heavy Arms. And I want to make the full. It's going to be a very foam heavy suit because that is not something you all through. No, it's going to be mostly foam. There's going to be a lot of 3D printing involved. That is a from scratch costume. There's not files to go and print it. It's not I'm going to have to make that from scratch. So the first step of that is, in this case, it's going to be first figuring out how big the damn thing needs to be. And I'm going to be on stilts for it because Gundam proportions are inhuman. Very small waist, very small head, super long legs. So if I make that suit, I want to do it justice. So it's going to involve using a projector to project the front shot of the suit on the wall. And then I'm going to scale it up until I fit inside of it. Once my waist and head are in the right spot, that's the scale. Done.
Oh wow. Okay.
Then it's going to be making the base suit. It's going to be foam. It's going to be getting the stilts the right height. Then it's going to be crafting the armor around me, which is going to be a lot of foam work. And that's going to be buying rolls, learning how to do EVA foam. I have a lot of friends who are very willing to help with this project and are excited for me to try it. Tons of resources on foam work out there. I'm going to build the suit basically. And then I'm going to start adding all the little attachments, all the missile pods, and churching it up. So it's going to have to come in stages and phases. And I know there's going to be a big learning curve on a lot of it, but I'm excited for it. I really am.
Would you consider having like a little tiny figurine of like the Gundam pilot? I forget the name of the Gundam pilot, but would you consider having them like sit on your shoulder when you're in costume?
What actually I was thinking about doing was, because the chest has the chest has the missile the gun pods that open. That chest is actually going to come out kind of far. It'll probably come out to like here. I'll actually have space here in my sternum to actually put the door that opens, and I can have a little pilot in there. Maybe have the door open and a light kind of illuminate so you can see the pilot in there. That's cool. I think that'd be really awesome. Yeah. The plan for that suit, for those of you guys who don't know who Heavy Arms is, he has three missile pods on each leg, 2 missile pods on his waist, 2 missile pods on the front of his hips, covering little flaps right here, 3 missile pods on each shoulder, gun doors on his chest, and 2 giant Gatling guns he holds. And in the show, he stands there, kind of cocks everything back. All the missile pods open at the same time. It's a really cool gimmick. And I think that'd be cool to do with servos. So where I can stand there in the costume, make the gun barrels spin, stand there, hit a button, and all of the doors open at once, and all the missiles are revealed. I can't wait. It's going to be so cool. But it's literally not too dissimilar for what people do with Iron Man suits with servos and Arduinos. It's just not a faceplate. It's a little door. Actually, the door is way less than the faceplate would. So
do you have an engineering background, or did you literally
not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
I went to high school, joined the Air Force, went to high school, worked as a mechanic for 3 years after high school, and joined the Air Force for 10 years. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And is that how you ended up in Japan?
Yeah. Yep. Was in Japan for 3.5-ish years, and then England for 4, and now North Carolina. Why do I always say South Carolina? North Carolina. Yeah. Yep. You can learn all this stuff online, kids, or with today's sponsor, Skillshare. I'm totally kidding.
I'd love a sponsor. That'd be great.
That's Gundam Heavy Arms. Yep. And I have the model. I actually have 2 models of him. And if you guys also don't know and are looking for a cool, fun hobby, Gundam model kits, you can buy the model kits. They're action figures, no glue. You snap them together, and they're really cool. And so I have perfect reference for every single part of that suit. I can 3D scan it. I can measure it. I can scan it, blow it up, and print it. Like, I have a perfect model of what I want to make, which is going to come in handy, actually.
I haven't built a Gundam kit, but I've certainly carried my fair share of Gundam kits.
Well, you weren't there the last time, so I actually have the perfect grade sitting in the next room that I'm still waiting to put together.
Which
Perfect
one?
grade, the RX-78.
The Unleashed?
Yep.
Oh, me too. I'm actually going to be building it on a Twitch live stream for the next year.
Nice.
Bearded says this episode is sponsored by the Unhinged Crew. So
yeah,
I'm all about that. So I remember following you, just kind of like watching your process. And then,
you've been following me? Was that you outside?
Yeah. Oh, totally. I'm actually downstairs. This is a green screen. This is all fake. So.
Sick.
I'm in a van outside. And you kind of put up this video where it was like a really cool moment that you realized that you could do this, full time. What was that like? I mean, like, just from, I know that you shared a lot there, but I mean, what was that process, and kind of explain that feeling?
Terrifying. Freaking terrifying. It's still terrifying. I left a fully stable job, 10 years in the military, retirement, healthcare, dental. I mean, it's a great job. It's stability. Private sector jobs suck, are hard to come by, or you're paying for a lot of your own things. So making the decision to leave that, I did keep a foot in the door. I am still in the Air Force Reserves. I go in 1 weekend a month, and that was to maintain. It was for 2 reasons: to maintain some. YouTube doesn't have a healthcare plan yet, unfortunately. But when they do, it was scary because I had started to kind of toss around the idea when we were still in England, and my wife was my voice of reason. She's like, "We're going to be moving back to the States. We're going to buy a house. Like, that might not be the best move right now." And I'm like, it'd be really cool though. It'd be pretty sick. So, because neither of us ever thought it would turn into anything like this. But then, the channel started doing better, and bigger sponsors started noticing things, and then I started realizing, I can sell some of these props for some pretty good money. And it, in a way, I mean, all the helmets sitting behind me, for the most part, they're kind of equity in a sense. They're capital, right? Because I mean, hey, bills are getting a little high one month, I can sell some of them. That's not beyond me, got to pay the bills, keep the lights on. So I made them, I can sell them and make them again. But when we started doing, some calculations and seeing what we made in like 2020, and then 2021, and we're like, you're making as much, if not more, doing all of this than you are from your military paycheck. Holy shit, this might actually be something viable. So we started talking about it seriously, and it's a big decision. It's scary. It's still, I'm scared every day because it could all go away. It could all go. My YouTube channel was demonetized one time overnight for 5 days, and that was a few months before I was due to get out of the military. And it felt like a sign. I don't believe too much in that stuff, but man, did it feel like somebody trying to be like, hey man, you probably should stay in because look, you just got demonetized because YouTube's bot is stupid. Basically, YouTube thought I was stealing my own content because I had uploaded a couple YouTube shorts with the TikTok watermark. They thought I was stealing somebody else's content off of TikTok and re-uploading it onto my own onto YouTube. So they demonetized my whole channel like that. And they don't back pay you. I can literally go to my revenue, and it has the chart, and then boop, it just flatlines for 5 days and goes right back up. It was scary. I woke up at 2 a.m. to an email saying I still have it saved. I don't think I'm ever going to delete it. And your channel is no longer eligible for YouTube monetization in AdSense. And I jumped. I don't think I've ever gotten out of bed that quick. Ran upstairs, opened up my email, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Read it. It was legit. I went and I had to submit an appeal. I had to sit here in front of the camera at 3 a.m. nearly crying, like, what is happening right now? And I had to explain for 8 minutes why my content was original and why it was my own content, and send the video in and hope they appealed it. And for 5 days, I lived in a new level of stress I hadn't experienced till then. It was, yeah. But the biggest thing I can say to people is don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I've seen people do that. I saw somebody last year, they were huge on TikTok. They had 3 million or 4 million followers on TikTok, and he was killing it. And he had sponsors on TikTok. And I think he maybe had 3,000 Instagram followers and maybe a couple hundred YouTube subscribers. All his eggs were in one basket, and then his account got banned. And it turned into a flounder fest of him he made a second backup account, and he had just moved. Him and his wife had moved somewhere, and they needed rent. They made that choice because things were going well on TikTok, but he did not diversify. So when the one big thing went away, he lost it all. He was able to then get it back, but I can't imagine what that felt like. Like, oh my God. So diversify, that's why hey, I have YouTube, but hey, go check out my Twitch. Oh, I'm on Twitch. Hey, go check out my Instagram, cross-pollinate and get people to follow you in different places so they can stay up to date. And if you lose one, you're not back up. Yeah. I made sure that I got to a place where I don't need to rely on every platform to pay the bills. I could lose any one of them and still have enough from the other platforms to keep the lights on and take care of everything. So it's a balancing act.
How do you find making content to fulfill everything, right? Because you're talking about you're being on all the different platforms. Do you kind of just do that, shoot for an hour and then cut it up, or do you kind of have a set mindset?
It very much. It depends. It very much depends on the project. I can bang out a vlog in a half hour, and that's an easy thing. Hey, this is some updates. Those are easy kills. Long form build videos, that could be hours and hours of footage across days, because you can't just I can't build a gauntlet helmet in a day. So I think for the Mando video, I think I had about 5 hours. Once I got it all onto my computer, dropped into the timeline, it was like 5 hours of footage. And a lot of that's time lapses and sanding. And I cut a lot of it up and got it down to 22 minutes or something. But then if it's like a comparison video, like for Saturday, tomorrow I'm filming a video for Saturday, and it's FDM plastic versus resin 3D printing. What's better for cosplay? And I'm going to just talk about the comparisons, my experiences, what you should look at, why is one better than the other. And that's going to be more of a setup video where I kind of get the printer set up in the garage, figure out some props, set the stage, and then I'll probably talk for an hour, and then kind of bring it back in and cut it up. So it really much depends on what video I'm trying to make.
Do you have a platform that you prefer to do stuff on?
YouTube.
Favorite YouTube?
YouTube is it. YouTube is my bread and butter. I am a YouTuber. I like YouTube. Everything else is a funnel for that. My TikTok is to have fun and test out dumb ideas, and it's gotten me good reach and sponsorships, but it's to drive people to my YouTube. That's where I do TikTok is where I'll do hey, look, shiny awesome thing. Because a lot of people just want to see the shiny awesome thing. They actually don't care to learn how to make it. But if the percentage of people who do care, they make their way over my YouTube, and then there's more content for them there to learn how to do the stuff. So, and that's what YouTube Shorts has let me do too. I can kind of like show off a little bit, but if people want more substance in that, then I actually do provide it on my channel. And then Instagram's like a portfolio. It's like, hey, look at the thing. If you want to know more about the thing, go check out YouTube.
Would you say that YouTube is better with their content creators than the other platforms?
Absolutely. YouTube is the best place for content creators. It still has its quirks and issues. Its copyright system and its video reporting system is abysmal and needs tons of work, but at least they have it. At least I can get into YouTube and go on Google and stuff into their customer service and actually talk to somebody and actually get help. I've had to use that a few times. TikTok, good luck. TikTok is a shit show of just, they don't care. TikTok does not care about its creators whatsoever. They punish you for not posting every day. I went on vacation and posted a pretty cool video right when I got back, and it got 7,000 views. And it's always tricky to talk about this because I never wanted to seem like I deserve more views. Like, no, but I have 2 million followers on TikTok. How the heck did you only show it to 7,000 of them? Because I know damn well the video I made, a lot of my audience would have been interested in because of what I was showing. It was new projects, things they were asking for. I posted it at the right time. TikTok actively suppresses people who don't use it every day, and it just shows. It's not a good. It's like kind of chasing the dragon thing. They give you a couple good ones, and then they want you to stay on it. And yeah, God forbid in a video you ever mention Instagram or YouTube, they will bury that video in the depths of the underworld immediately because they have the voice recognition. They have you can do captions. So if the second TikTok thinks you're trying to get somebody off of their platform, they just bury that video. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It's bad. And Instagram is circling the drain too. They're doing a lot of weird things right now. They have a lot of weird choices. So I don't know. I don't know about Instagram. They got rid of the Instagram Reels, helping people make money. That was weird. Like
I never got my invite.
A lot of people didn't. A lot of people who were making more content than me or better or whatever. Like so many people never got their invite, and then they took it away from the people who were actually actively using it. Like I was making like okay money off of it for just posting some reels and stuff, and it was like, all right, this is a good option. This is cool. This is another source of income. And gone. It's like, what?
There was a time where I was just like, okay, I'm making pretty good reels where it's getting good traction. And then I was like, I'm hearing everybody else is talking about how they're getting paid out. So I'm like, well, I'm going to wait until I get this invitation. Because if I'm going to keep pumping out this content and I'm not getting paid for it, I was just like, why is everybody else getting paid and I'm not? And I'm getting good traction. None of it makes sense. I think the most predictable platform is still YouTube. It's still unpredictable at times, but there's a lot more data and consistency for like being able to use Google Trends and see what people are searching and follow SEO and actually pay attention to like, oh, this is what people are looking for. Where TikTok and Instagram Reels are just it's a time waster. It's people scrolling just to waste time, and it's so unpredictable. And and then when TikTok came out and said like, oh yeah, we basically have a button where we can choose to send your video viral and we'll do that. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, whatever. You guys are stupid.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
They came out and said
the viral button.
They had come out and said that they will review people's content and they will intentionally make it go viral. They will intentionally push it out to more people to make it go viral. It's like, that's not an algorithm. That's manipulation, you morons. Like, really? Yeah.
And then like there's that one instance where I tried posting something that I had forgotten to post on my TikTok that I had gotten really good traction with on Instagram, and I got flagged. And people were saying that I stole that content from somebody.
That's right. Somebody posted your video and then you put it up and you got all the hate.
Yeah.
What?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. That
people were saying content stolen. This isn't yours, and I'm like, I mean, like I just didn't post it on my TikTok right away after I posted it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I had people. I had fake accounts pretending to be me on TikTok, and then yeah, it's dumb. And unfortunately, a lot of people being naive or just can amplify it and make it worse because you're like, it's a lot of hard-headed people out there too, which like you try to explain something to them like, no, this is actually how it is. Like, no, well, you stole it or it's not you, or it's like, no, okay.
Well, I know that we could probably hate on the algorithm and all that stuff for a while because it's something we all fight with. But I think Matchu, you had a question here.
Yeah, he's been asking it.
Yeah.
Where do you get your Iron Man helmet? The one that's on your suit, the curved chins. This one, Lego. I mean, this is the Akira Yuming Mark 85, and then this is the Walsh 3D Mark 39. They're same place I get all the files. They're available online. This suit's free. Actually, all the helmet and suit are free files. These ones are paid from Walsh DO3D. Sorry, Akira Yuming DO3D. The suit is by DO3D, but it's free, and then the helmet's by Walsh 3D, and it's free. So you get them online, print them out, build them, sand them some more.
I think I have the DO3D shop kind of queued up here because I know that you talked about it a lot. So is this the one? Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Hey, look at that Blue Beetle helmet. That looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
The Scarab. Click Iron Man. Do it. It's right there.
Iron Man. This one? No. Where's there's actually an Iron Man thing. I was looking at Marvel. I didn't realize there was an Iron Man. There you go.
There it is. Ironheart and some of the random suits. They got Ultron. They got
this is cool.
Blades and gauntlets and
Iron Batman.
Whiplash.
Just a billionaire right there. Just
Yep.
I was just thinking, like, because you can scale 3D files. We can print some of these out tiny for toy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yes, you can. Yep, you absolutely
can. So I feel like, I mean, how many helmets would you say that you've made during the 5 years or how long you've been printing? Not just Iron Man in general. Between Blue Beetle and I know you did a Red Hood, right?
I know I'm probably close to maybe if over 200 helmets at this point.
Wow.
Because I actually pump out Mark 85 helmets quite frequently in England and sell them. Couple dozen Red Hood helmets maybe. I've definitely sold the most helmets I've ever sold are Mark 85 helmets, followed by Red Hood helmets, followed by Mando helmets. Maybe Nova helmets next. I've sold a couple of those, but yeah, I think I'm probably close to 200.
What was your favorite prop to have printed out and made? I would say like outside of, you gotta
let me narrow that down because the swords are different than the helmets.
Yeah, I would say take out the helmets.
Helmets, it's a toss up between the Samus helmet and the Power Ranger helmet. I love both of those. Because I grew up, I mean, and they're not anime, right? They're games and TV shows, so they were two. Yeah, I love how those helmets came out. Because you can't have either of those helmets unless you make them. Like people you can't buy those at a store. Because it's a concept White Ranger helmet, and then you can't just buy a Samus helmet. So those are very fun to make and bring to life. Swords wise, props wise, my Jawblade, my Monster Hunter Jawblade, the bone sword, that thing, I love that thing. If I could just carry that thing around, I would. Between that and my Demon Slayer katanas, my sword Tengen Uzui cleavers, I love those things.
I thought this was really cool that you made this, because I feel like it's something that Kingdom Hearts doesn't get enough credit.
Haha.
So this was definitely one of my favorites that I saw.
That is my first prop.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yep. That is my first 3D printed prop right there, and it is. You can barely see it on the wall right there. I still got her. Yep.
I saw that. Sorry, go ahead.
It was the first thing I got the file. I had the files for that Keyblade before I even had my printer. Ordered the printer and I hopped on Thingiverse and I found that file. I'm like, Keyblade, and I printed it and made some mistakes, but it turned out it's a Keyblade. It's like I actually am one of my future projects. It'll probably maybe happen around Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out. I finally have the files, good files, for Oathkeeper and Oblivion. And because if I'm making one, I'm making the other. I would never hang Oathkeeper on the wall without Oblivion next to it. That I think that's illegal in some states. Yeah. And if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you understand why.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're really scratching the surface there. We're diving deep. I was gonna say too, I think that Kingdom Hearts characters are starting to show up in California. I don't know if you saw that. Like I think Mickey and Goofy dressed in their Kingdom Hearts attire have started showing up, and Donald.
Really?
Yeah, or at least they did for the premiere of the last game. So.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
Really
I could dedicate a whole YouTube channel to talking about Kingdom Hearts lore because I've played all of the games. I have dug into the lore. Like it's not just the 3 PlayStation games. I've even played the mobile game. There was a mobile game for those of you that didn't know. It's a prequel mobile game, and it talks about the predecessors before the Keyblade War and all this crazy stuff. Like, it's deep. And anybody who says they understand Kingdom Hearts lore is a liar. You are lying. You shut up. No, you don't. You understand a lot of it. You understand a good amount. You can follow it, but you don't know shit. That's the point. They're like, oh, the MCU is too hard to follow. Shut up. No, it is not. You have no idea what lore is until you crack open a Kingdom Hearts game and you're like, ooh, they look the same, but they don't. Aren't they supposed to look the same? Why is he him in a black coat? Isn't he dead? Why does he have 9 hearts? It's a mess. It's a mess.
I feel like I remember playing the second game and just being like, I don't remember any of this. I gotta go back. So
yep. You start the second game and you're like, who the hell's Roxas? Why is he blonde? What the hell? Why does he have a Keyblade? What the heck's this crap? Who's that? Why is Sora asleep? What happened to Sora? I thought, it's a mess. I love it. I love it.
Stay tuned for the Kingdom Hearts spin-off series.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? Have you made anything for Fallout?
No. No, not a Fallout fan.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
That was an easy answer right there.
Asked and answered. Done. Oh. I think I'm running out of questions, so I don't know if there's anything else. Matchu, I mean, is there anything that you wanted to chat with about?
I think he's answered all the questions. Do you want to do the picks or?
Okay, we got one more question came through.
Okay.
What is your favorite part of 3D printing, and what's your least favorite?
My favorite part of 3D printing? I made this. Like, that's it. That's the outcome. The outcome. You're like, I made this thing. This is cool. That's awesome. Like that's you can make anything you want. Least favorite part? Everything before that.
I particularly hate sanding.
Sanding, yeah. Sanding's pretty crappy. I hate paint failures. I hate paint failures. That is the thing that sets me back the most. I can deal with sanding, I can deal with filling and priming, but when you have a nice paint job, I mean, it happened on my Mando helmet. Everything was going great, and then it wasn't. And it's like, well, that just added 2 more days onto the project. Sick. It's not like I'm in a rush or anything for a timeline. Oh, I was. Yeah. So, paint failures.
All right. Let's look at some picks. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Go for
do it.
I love Dead Air. Dead Air is my favorite.
Give me 1 second.
Do, 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 do.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah. This is one that I picked. I just thought this was fun, right? I just love the idea of pulling all those characters together.
Aw.
Putting Mickey behind the camera.
Okay,
Go.
I know we were just talking about it, but man, that also would have been funny if there was a Sora figure hidden in there. Right? Like that would have been perfect right there. But yeah, that's really cute.
I like the fact that they have the accessory box on the bottom underneath Pooh. That's what he's standing on to get over everybody.
Yeah. It's like he's standing on a honeypot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, just the way that they kind of brought personality out in each of those figures, like that's a lot of characters to make sure that you're posing right.
Yeah, and then they're all definitely the Zootopia figures feel out of place though. Like they're great. I mean, but they're much newer than the others.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
So I feel like they could have been swapped out for some other characters.
What's cool about this is the eyes on like Woody and Buzz.
Yeah.
They move.
Yeah.
Do they actually move in that figure? Like you can actually move them?
Yeah, you
move the
can
eyes.
shift them. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that's creepy but awesome.
I also like that Mickey. It looks like Mickey's got his hand on his head, like he's stressing about this photo right now. Like
I think
I think he's doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
is
might
that what
be
it
like
is?
doing one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. He's also
it's
way
old.
too close. But...
And it's old Mickey. It's not even like right. That's his old outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a classic style. Yeah.
Post Steamboat Willie.
Oh, this one.
This one was cool.
This
Arthur
is
Morgan.
great. With the light. I mean, you can't even tell it's a figure.
No, it really at first glance it absolutely did not look like a figure.
Right.
But the only thing that really gives it away is the beard.
Yeah.
Like the skin looks great, but just the beard being plastic, not like that. That's if you squint a little or darken it, like sold.
Yeah, I'd actually be curious to see how many lights they used. Because I mean, obviously, you got the light coming from his hands.
There's the light in the back, but there's no rim light. There's nothing bleeding over him, so it's just whatever's illuminating the back of the photo, and then whatever's hitting him from the side.
The side and then the center, I don't think that's the light is coming from the hand, because the shadow of the cigarette is going to the side of the face.
Yeah.
Good.
There's definitely something bright in his hand, but then there's something also to the right of him lighting up his face, because those don't line up.
Yeah. This one just is amazing.
Wow.
This was just fun.
Did you find any indie figures yet, or you wanted to hunt them?
I did want to hunt them, and I just caved today and ordered them. So
really?
Will be arriving in a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah, I got tired of seeing cool shots like this that I can't do. So
this helmet belongs in a museum.
Yeah, it was fun for me. I just thought it was fun. Yeah. And I love the way that Vader's posed. Yeah, it's just great job. Good job doing it outside too.
Yeah, Patrick Home Dials. This was I chose this one. This was pretty cool with the Galactus figure and the little tiny figurine taking a photo.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what they were doing, taking the photo.
Yeah, they're taking a photo of his teeth. That's what he got.
Is that one of the faceplates that comes with it, or is that the custom one?
Yeah,
They look back. Oh, that's not the one I got in. So.
He's down there actually with that same faceplate. But he does really good shots of like perspective based. Like this feels like it's ginormous, you know?
Yeah, he did a good job on this. How big is that Galactus figure in real?
If I can grab it without knocking everything over.
Oh. Wow.
I got it, Matt.
I got it.
Oh, you both got it.
Hey.
What?
Yeah,
that's sick. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty sick.
But I even like the photo of the teeth, right? Like that's a clean shot too.
Yeah. How much is that figure?
It was a crowdfunded figure, so it was like, how much was it? $3.95
or something.
Or
That's some good. He must have touched that figure up a little bit, or is that come? That's how it comes painted. But that's really good.
I think that's how it comes painted.
That's really impressive for that price.
It's probably a
I
mix.
know.
And he lights up.
Oh, that's sick. That's really cool. Oh, not bad at all. Because I see what people spend on, sideshow collectibles and hot toys and all this crap, and like, yeah, sometimes sub 300-ish price ranges doesn't get you much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jason says the "say cheese" caption is perfect.
Yeah, I just pulled that up. Yeah, it really is.
Say cheese.
And the last one, our boy Henrock with the Mezco Ghostwriter.
That's killed this one.
Yeah, he did a really good
shot.
job. Almost sold me on the figure. Like I almost want it.
Definitely giving me a little FOMO. But yeah. He did a really good job just lighting up the bike too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the bike lights up.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well,
and so does Ghostwriter.
Henrock didn't do a good job at all. No, I'm kidding. No, that's good. Well, I mean, we both know that even though it lights up, he had to add to it because there's no way it was enough.
Yeah.
But even looking at the skull. Oh, there it goes. Never mind.
Bye.
Jason says colors are nicely balanced too, and they are for sure.
Yeah.
That blue in the background.
They needed that, or that black would have gotten lost completely.
Yeah.
I do like how he has the lights coming through the window at the bottom.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Attention to detail, yeah.
That's really good. And it feels like there's tension on the chain. I don't know if he's actually hanging him off, but
I think he is. There is the tension now.
Yeah. Huh.
Really good.
Damn. I've always wanted to take new pictures of all my Gundam models because I used to be very involved back when I lived in Japan, like 2013, 14, 15. I was massively involved with the Gundam build model community on Reddit. So I have an Imgur account with thousands of pictures and photos of my models, painted, posed, but old iPhone 5 cell phone quality. But now I have micro and macro lenses and a nice camera, and even my iPhone, to take way better pictures now.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to kind of like redo some photos of them.
Well, if you ever want to get back into it, we'll have you back on just as a toy photographer too. So. Anything you want to, kind of go last around the room here? Last words? Anything you want to promote? Any appearances coming up? Anything like that?
I'm going to England on the 11th. Back to England for this event, NEC Maker Central in Birmingham. Got invited to that. Me and Emily are going. We're actually traveling together. Me, Emily, and her husband. I'm driving down to South Carolina, and we're both flying out of the same airport, so we can. It's an 8-hour flight, so we'll have company. So we're gonna go to that Maker Fair for 2 days, and then after that, I think June is Awesome Con in DC. So those are the next two things. May's kind of dead right now, except for that trip to the UK, which is nice. I don't have much going on. Kind of unwind a little bit, get ready for summer, chill.
Are you going to Comic-Con?
Which Comic-Con?
San Diego?
Oh, no, because I'd like to, but funds are a little low right now in terms of travel. So I got to kind of, because June is Awesome Con. I can drive to that. And then in the weekend before San Diego Comic-Con, I'm going to an event called Open Sauce Live in San Francisco, the 15th and 16th.
Okay.
If I could figure out a way to maybe stay in Cali for the week and then do SDCC the weekend, that next weekend, I could do that. But staying in Cali for a week in the middle of July just could get a little expensive. Obviously, the plane ticket would be the same because it's there and back. But I'd have to really plan that out. Could be a little vacation. And then right the weekend after that, I'm at GalaxyCon in Raleigh, which is 30 minutes from me. So that's just drive to, put my suit on, walk around, hang out. And yeah.
So are you going to do? What about New York Comic Con?
There has been a murmur that Silicon. I was invited back to Silicon with Adam Savage. That's the same weekend as New York Comic Con now, which sucks because I can only go to one. So do I go to the one where I have to pay to go to, drive up to New York? It was a blast. Or do I go to the one that's more beneficial for my career in terms of content, meeting people, maker focused?
Bless you.
Thank you. Or do I go to the one that invited me, is paying my way out there, and is better for the maker side of things? I have to go to Silicon. If it's between the two, I have to. But there has been a murmur, a whisper, a faint beckoning that Silicon may be canceled.
Oh.
So we'll see. Because a lot of people are committing to New York Comic Con because it's the same weekend. It's the second largest con in the country, and they did it the same weekend. So that was a bad move on Silicon's part. I want to go. I want to go to both. Can't go to both. East Coast, West Coast. Right. So if Silicon gets canceled, I will be at New York Comic Con 1,000,000,000%. That was so much fun.
Awesome. We'll be there too.
Yeah, hopefully to see you there.
Yeah.
If I'm in my suit, I will be in the front in Crystal Palace outside the entrance because there's no way I can walk in with my suit because the crowd gets way too big.
Yep.
Every time.
I was gonna say, how do you manage the escalator on the suit?
Oh yes, yeah, we have videos of us dancing on our suits on the escalator. It's kind of at WonderCon, it's kind of a tradition where we're getting like 5 or 6 people on Iron Man in the escalator, and we kind of dance while we're going up it.
Nice. All right. And Matthew, we're attempting to do both toy shows this weekend.
Woodbridge and Wayne, New Jersey.
Yes, on Sunday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne.
That works. Yeah.
Wait, where are you guys in New Jersey?
Oh,
we're
we're
actually
in New York.
but the toy shows are in Wayne. Yeah. In Jersey.
Oh. I'm from Long Beach Island, New Jersey. Well, around that area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very familiar with. I know where Wayne is. I mean, I know. Yeah, I grew up in New Jersey, so.
I didn't even know that. That's cool.
New Jersey to Japan to London to North Carolina.
New Jersey to Florida to 4 months, then New Jersey, and then Texas for 6 months, and then Japan, and then England, and now North Carolina.
Wow. There you go. Jersey is the only one that feels weird. It's like Japan, UK, but hey, all right. So
I've been told I don't have a Jersey accent, whatever that is. As you guys know, you're from New York. You guys don't sound like You know what's weird though? Where do you guys live in New York? Like in the city?
We're in the boroughs. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then because you
We're
didn't say
close to
upstate.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey.
Okay, that actually makes sense then because you didn't say upstate New York. Because anybody who is from New York but not from the city always clarifies, "I'm from upstate New York." It's like because you don't want to be associated with anybody by the city,
and vice versa. Yeah. So, that's how it works. But, cool. I mean, if there's nothing else, man, you got your lives too that you're doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
So be sure to check those out.
Yep. Got my Twitch streams. It's kind of a hangout, workshop, Q&A, just kind of BS kind of thing. It's fun. People seem to enjoy them. Tomorrow, if anybody's interested, on my Twitch stream, we're giving away 2 Mandalorian helmets for May the 4th. So,
ooh, I'm gonna check that out then. Gotta check that out.
Just saying. So that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, this has been episode 23, which again, thank the hell out of you guys who are watching live and are checking us out on the replay. Appreciate all of you. We would not continue to do this without you. So thank you again. And thank you, Frank. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
You want to play us out?